No, it's still
Counter
busted.
still dead. Warm up. Loading monitors.
I'm going to complain. Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, looks like I can hear my sounds. That's why. Unexpected.
Live stream. Year end.
Wow, Wayne's World.
Hey, Urim. Hey, Andre. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Thanks. They're not new shirts, but
They're
yes.
actually quite big.
Haha. Very funny, Urim.
A little crass, but still funny. I'm sharing 1 moment after filing a ticket, which means support is going to message during the stream.
So this won't be a long episode.
At least we don't expect it to be.
Given this is quite a sudden episode, which we did not market beforehand. We're not expecting people to be available to join us tonight.
Oh, I'm not even signed into my Gmail yet. How funny. To me.
Oh man. So we've been doing Baduy Pride for a year.
No, don't be. That's not how it.
Well, when did we start? Last year. Hey, Mitch. Oh my
it's
god.
a known issue.
Okay.
It's not just me.
Okay, something's with my glasses. My head aches when I wear it. That's not good. So yeah, 2021. Who would have thought? So should we like switch places so the captions are always
No. This is how it's been. So we'll just deal with it. We've been dealing with it.
Then we can't
for
have the
a
captions
year.
in the lower and the opposite side.
No. So it's either we switch seats, but we switch seats, it's just gonna mess us up so much. So I don't think it's a good idea. Yeah, we're gonna get all the last year jokes.
Mm-hmm.
You get a hall pass until this weekend, then come Monday, let's all be sensible.
So long ago.
Wow, it's even like
Yeah. So sadly, Tube Guy has not been celebrating because we can't see the proper count.
yeah. We have to manually count across platforms if you want to check. But then I think also these last few episodes we haven't really had that many people on the stream, and that's fine. It's a holiday period. I mean, like I have like on my Marvel Strike Force game, we lost a few players due to inactivity, which means they didn't log in for 3 days, which is the holidays. So I hope they come back.
So I guess we might as well get started.
Sure.
Since we're not sure if anyone else will be joining us because this is last minute. But it's a good way to start the year.
Sure. Begin.
This is Toby.
And this is Rocky.
And if it's your first time here, welcome to Baduy Pride, our little space on the internet where we talk about anything we want.
It is completely unscripted, not entirely accurate, but at least it's honest. Join us. We talk about everything and anything random live.
And if it's not your first time here, thank you so much for joining us. This is our first episode for the new year.
Hooray!
So 2021 opens with episode 118, which is the New Year episode.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We thought about going live last night
Mhm.
while we were waiting for midnight. But then, admittedly, it just felt kind of awkward because of the setup.
That's better.
We were at Toby's
Mhm.
parents' house, and then the help were going around regularly. Toby's mom was constantly checking if we needed anything, so it didn't feel like a good
Mhm.
environment for a show.
It was tempting to do an episode, but again, there's always that feeling that there's no time to market. People won't be available because it's usually a family thing, or it's
Yeah.
usually you're with the people closer to your vicinity or close to you. So we decided, we can give the show an extra day.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I mean, like looking at everybody's socials,
Mhm.
a lot of you had a good time with your family, which is great. Oh, hi Karen, and then
Hey, Karen.
so we didn't want to put a damper on that. So no, so here we are today, though. I mean, like, and admittedly, I'm still feeling super lazy because I think this is the effect. We finished the bottle of wine together last time.
Mhm.
Um, and it's the first time in a long time that we've had red wine, and it's kind of heavy. I feel a little maudlin or something, or
Mhm.
just like, ugh. And it's not even a hungover feeling. It's just
We haven't had that
a
much
chill feeling.
wine in a
Yeah,
long time.
and then I mean, we stayed up late a bit to like play through the ages.
I
After
think we stayed until
fireworks.
3.
Yeah, we slept at 3, and then today was a lot of family stuff on Toby's side,
Mhm.
and so that was naturally busy. So, but it's okay. It's cool.
Mhm.
That's what the holiday period is like, and got to witness all of Toby's family's rituals for the new year.
Would you like to elaborate?
No, it's all right. And then Toby kept trying to throw me under the bus because he's like telling his
I'm
mom like,
not.
Rocky doesn't believe this and Rocky doesn't believe that, and then like, okay,
I'm not throwing you under the
kind
bus.
of awkward.
I'm just showing that it's not just me. It is a thing.
In your family.
So, with the new year, came some observations. One, thankfully, not that many fireworks.
Yeah, I mean there were still some. I think a lot more people. I mean, the general rule was families, households weren't supposed to have
Mm-hmm.
fireworks, right? And so I think a lot of people waited until the very last minute before they fired their fireworks. So normally you would hear stuff as early as 6, 7 p.m.
Mhm.
once the sun went down. In Parañaque, it was pretty quiet up until like 9 or 10, and then people started.
Yeah, but even
Pretty
9,
fireworks.
10, it was like
It wasn't
very
anything
few.
like the years before, where at the end it looks like a war zone and there's a haze of
Mhm.
firecracker related smoke and stuff like that. So as an asthmatic, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I don't mind. We didn't even step out. Like we kind of just peeked from the windows to see if we could spot any
Mhm.
fireworks. Um, and that's okay to me.
We in Tahanan at my parents' place, we normally have the annual. Um, we expect someone would have those fireworks that are really strong that it affects the power grid, and then we'll spend the rest of New Year's in the dark because someone has hit the power lines or something. But it didn't happen this year, which
Hey,
is
David,
yay.
Happy New Year.
Um,
My
well,
hand can't hand. Wait, what was that?
we had our nice share of food to eat.
Oh my god, so
you-
much food. I don't want to. I don't want to look at my weighing scale yet. But we'll deal with it tomorrow.
But it was still mostly keto for you.
Yeah, it was just a
The drinks
lot.
wasn't.
It was just a lot, and then the wine, and then we had cheese after midnight. So
I mean, together we probably ate around 7 steaks. All in all.
thereabouts, yes. Maybe just okay, yeah, maybe just 7. Okay, yeah, 7.
And then I know I had 2 types of fruit salad, and 2 types of ice cream, 2 types of lasagna,
Did you have some cake?
2 types of cake, and then 2 different fruits that had grapes, and I had parmesan.
Parmesan, yeah.
And then I had pretty much everything on the table. I tasted everything.
Oh, happy birthday, Natasha.
Oh, hey, Natasha. Yeah, we knew her back in Cuba.
Okay.
What else? We got to hang out with the dog for more than 24
Oh my
hours.
God, yeah. So I posted a few photos of Tyler because he's adorable,
Mhm.
and because of all this, all the T-bone steaks that were going around, then
You became best friends.
Tyler became my best friend because he would just. At first, he was all like jumpy, and I wouldn't give him anything unless he calmed down and took a seat.
Happy New Year, RJ.
Hey, RJ. So he did eventually just learn to sit, and so he would just be sitting beside me,
But
kind of
watching intently.
yeah, just staring expectantly. Adorable, absolutely adorable. I miss having a dog.
Mhm.
So he got a lot. He got a lot this weekend. Apart from a lot of attention, and
Mhm.
I got an allergic reaction. Hooray!
But that's your first one for more than a year.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, and to be fair, and I'll always like it's different from my asthma. So I've had no asthma attacks as of last year, and then yeah, this is my first like major allergy bout, which is fine because we don't normally have regular encounters with animals. So it make for a fun New Year. So New Year was nice. I think New Year was pretty nice, pretty quiet, but pretty nice,
Mhm.
and
It definitely felt safer.
safer relatively.
yeah.
I mean, we're all stuck at home.
It wasn't like before we're in. I remember there were some New Years I'd be watching the house because sometimes some of the
Mm.
fireworks drop down on the roof and they're still burning.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
you're always worried about, if no pays attention, that might spread or something.
Or here, like we close all the windows of the unit to make
Mhm.
sure nothing can
Flies
get in,
or
and minimize the amount of smoke that gets in
Yeah.
the unit, and also so it won't stain stuff,
Mhm.
things like that.
we
I
have,
do feel sad though, because normally after the fireworks and stuff, then it could be rushing off to Obar,
Yes.
and like that at some point in the show, Precious is gonna come out with sparklers or Roman candles or something,
Mhm.
and perform to Katy Perry's firework because it's the New Year song.
Mhm.
I ended up digging up my video from January 2020 and playing and posting it on Facebook and Twitter just as a reminder, like
Mhm.
because I don't know, my New Year felt incomplete without seeing Precious do that number.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've spent so much time saying we miss Obar, but definitely still miss Obar. Yeah, and then, but yeah, happy New Year, everyone, and I hope you all had a good New Year celebration as well, regardless if you were with family or not, or if you
Mhm.
had a big dinner or just called it a night early. I know a few people who like were asleep before midnight, and that's totally valid. Yeah. So, what are we hoping for 2021?
Mm. Well, I think it goes for everyone that we hope that things normalize to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long shot. It's not likely given stuff. Given
Oh my God, David is jogging right now and watching the show. Thank you for supporting and for continuing on your fitness journey.
But yeah, a chance to be able to meet friends again, to hang out would be great.
Mm-hmm.
A chance to be able to go to Obar again would be awesome. I doubt it though, given how things are unfolding still.
Yeah, I mean, like the vaccine projections are weird. Like, I don't know when we're gonna have steady access to a vaccine. I strongly suspect that what's this? A lot of us, whether middle class or if you think you're upper class or whatever, but I think anyone who they believe has money is probably gonna have to figure out how to vaccinate themselves.
Mhm.
Like, I think there may be some social programs for the poorest of the poor, maybe ish. But then everyone else is gonna have to like figure out fend for themselves, and then that's never gonna be
I
fun.
mean, you could look at how testing has been handled as a pattern.
Exactly.
I mean, we haven't really had a chance to just go somewhere to get tested in terms of
We have never gotten tested for COVID yet.
this is the government offered way to do it, and anyone can do it because you pay your taxes. But no, that's not what's happening. So
Yeah, so that's definitely one. Um, I don't know about this quarantine situation anymore because, like, technically, we have never left. Metro Manila, at least, has
Mhm.
never left GCQ for quite some time. But we've constantly redefined what GCQ means.
Mhm.
So it's been more and more relaxed, such that the malls are pretty busy and things
Mhm.
like that.
And we know we have friends who have actually been able to travel.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, there are a bunch of people who spent the New Year at Boracay.
mm,
So good for you and your additional 7,000 for swab testing.
so there are ways that are clearly positioned to be easier for people who can afford it or are willing to spend on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And just go through the hassle.
and I guess for me, what just turns me off is the fact that all those that you spend on, it's still just that temporal single moment thing.
That is true.
I mean, if it were you can get this for 7,000, but then after that, from that point on, that 7,000 was because it was part of the vaccine and all that. Then sure, why not spend on it? But if it's just for a test for that trip and you're not exactly
It
clear,
does feel quite frivolous. And then we've seen people like even was this in other countries where like they were doing rapid testing for a lot of social activities,
Mhm.
but then it turned out some of them still turned out potentially positive on a cruise ship, for example, and then they have to quarantine the whole ship and isolate everyone from the person, and then
Mhm.
that person had to be the first to disembark. And in the end, when they did the PCR test, oh no, he didn't have COVID, but he had a false positive on a rapid. So it's I don't know, right? Right?
Mm.
It's well,
It just feels too expensive and too much hassle to really embrace those options as of now, at least for me.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think we'll continue to still like meet people on a very limited basis. We'll continue to limit it to closer friends.
Mhm.
We would like to maybe figure out that more, but I know most of our friends are also trying to be responsible or are very concerned because they feel like they are either they themselves in the at-risk population or living with people in the at-risk
Mhm.
population, and we totally respect this. We don't want to force people
Mhm.
out of their comfort zone or anything. We just super miss everyone,
Mhm.
and we miss hanging out and gaming and whatnot. And hopefully, we'll rectify that in time.
So what else are we hoping for? It'd be nice if there was a semblance of things moving forward despite the pandemic. Um, some shows that we miss or movies that we'd like to see. I know many are going through streaming channels, but we are still talking about stuff that were done with the production or were nearly done with the production during the pandemic.
Hmm.
So we're not sure about stuff that will be completely new productions because that's going to cost a lot.
Yeah, and I'd like for the international movie supply chain to figure out its shit. I mean, like, I get it that they're kind of figuring out the North American releases. For example, Wonder Woman 84 was also an HBO Max release and not just a theatrical
Mm.
release. But then outside the US, they didn't really have a plan.
Mhm.
And so I'm pretty sure everyone and their dog pirated the movie instead.
Mhm.
So I mean, like for me, movie piracy beyond a crime, being a crime, and always being equated to theft. Um, for me, is always a symptom of lack of access or lack of
Mhm.
distribution. And so things like we still don't have Disney Plus here, and we can't seem to figure out the rights issues to get Disney Plus here. So that's like my stupid things like I wish for 2021.
Yeah.
Like things like Disney Plus and big movie distributions figure out their digital strategy that includes Southeast Asia and the
Mhm.
Philippines. So it's unlikely, but that's what I'm hoping for.
Mhm.
What else? Mm, 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 mm.
Yeah, we don't really have much in terms of what we're looking forward to this year.
It's hard, right? It's hard to project like what you're hoping and looking forward to.
It's
Well,
hard, it's hard to sound positive without sounding impossible.
maybe. I definitely hope also for more online board game nights. So
Mhm.
we had our first one in December.
That's a
We
good
got
one.
that to work. So we would definitely want to organize more of those. I mean, in the absence of full-on board game
Mhm.
nights in person with friends, The online ones aren't so bad. It just means we're gonna have to repeatedly gift each other birthday gifts on Steam, and then um, until we continue to like fill out everybody's library.
Happy New
Remember,
Year, Noel.
the Steam sale lasts until Jan 6th, so there's still time to get some more board game apps for your
Mhm.
Steam account. So, Potion Explosion with the expansion was like $50. Like, how can you not get that? So,
Mhm.
so yeah, hopefully more board game nights. Um, I don't know about the we've also done some hangout nights with like friends and like we end up playing Jackbox. Those aren't too bad. I think we can continue with those definitely. This is a way to hang out. It's not perfect and stuff, but it's some form of socialization. Oh, sorry. Hi, Noel. Happy New Year, Noel.
Mhm.
Uh, Truth or Dare nights. I can't believe that Truth or Dare has kind of worked for us on some of these online hangouts, and it's very informative. It's very enlightening among our friends.
It does help. What's the word? Make the intimacy feel more real despite the
Mm,
distance. 'Cause
that's true.
you're sharing more than just highs hellos. You're doing activities which everyone are reacting to. So there's that feeling of really being together in those activities.
Mm-hmm.
What else? There's the desire to expand on stuff that we haven't really been able to do so. Maybe new recipes to start cooking, maybe explore new workouts.
Yeah, like I don't know, like if I should finally move beyond baking just keto bread, and should
Mhm.
I start making my own keto desserts,
Or
which may
cakes or
reduce
cookies.
my reliance on
Mhm.
on Keto Filipino and other suppliers. But I do love Keto Filipino. It's been very convenient for me.
Mhm.
Um, oh, okay. Then I guess if we can't think of other stuff to be hopeful for, then like, do you have any resolutions for the year?
Yeah. So I am not final with mine. I've been weighing a bunch of them in my head. Um, I definitely want to start working on games and getting them out again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was very hard last year, and um, I guess it was just. I guess I just have to commit to myself to making sure I get them out this year
Mm-hmm.
because that's pretty much the only thing I have under my control. So I might as well do that.
There is that.
And then whether or not it's well received or noticed or
Just get it out
yeah,
there,
then
right?
that's beyond me, and I should stop worrying about that. I should stop trying to be ready for everything and just do the part I really love, let it go, and then focus on the next one, and not worry about what the first one went and
Yeah.
stuff like
I
that.
think someone was still doing fireworks in the distance. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, me, it's definitely my fitness thing is still ongoing. So I checked. I lost about 10 kilos in 2020. So that's not bad. I'm still not at my goal weight. I think
Hmm.
I need to be. I need to lose at least another 5 kilos to be comfy. So probably a bit more, especially after the holidays. But yeah, so I'm going to keep that up. I don't know if I'm going back to the gym yet. I paid for it. I just my Anytime Fitness membership reactivated today,
Hmm.
and I got the text that I've paid for the gym. I don't know if I'm ready to go back, but I could go back. My home workouts are okay, but then like I could reintroduce some weights
Hmm.
and things. So I don't know. I don't know, but definitely gonna keep working out.
Hmm.
That's one.
Noel shares more photography for me in 2021.
That would be nice,
Yeah, I
Noel.
saw I saw you took photos of Anita.
Yes.
I haven't seen the others if there were more. I just breezed. Admittedly, I haven't been able to check social media so much so far. I know I had the New Year's post and I've been replying to people who replied to it, but beyond that, I haven't really checked social
Yeah,
media.
family time came first. And then
Mhm.
plus, yeah, we're feeling that red wine heaviness all day today. And we had a bit more we had a bit more wine over lunch. Oh, Noel says he found the Obar Liberation couple photos and lost more than 20. Well, if we go back that far, I've lost a lot.
Mm.
I was 111 kilos in uh, August of 2018, and then I'm now um, at best 73, on heavy days 75. So
That's huge.
that's not bad.
Mhm.
Um,
Karen shares.
she's paying for membership but not going back. Yeah, I mean, I figure that's more valid. Then at least my contract duration's running, and then because the alternative was paying 500 a month to freeze, and then my contract's not moving. Then like, oh, okay, that's not fun. But at least they told me the showers are working again. I mean, they're allowing people to shower again, which
Mhm.
is like one of my main complaints. So that's not bad. I could deal with that. I can go back and
Mhm.
and sanitize and stuff. So, um, oh wow, there's more photos of Anita. Noel says interesting. Okay.
What else? What other goals? Hoping to get rid of more stuff, generate more space for us.
Oh yeah, we have
Probably.
to. And this year's another one of those. Okay, we have a full year lease, but then we should really think about: are we staying here? Are we moving or whatnot? I don't want to move necessarily, but then it's always like, you know, we always think about it. And if you're gonna think about moving, you think about it at least 6 months before your lease ends,
Mhm.
and if you can find somewhere else. This question always comes up in my head every time the lease is up for
Mhm.
renewal. So we'll see. We'll see.
Although we don't necessarily have options in mind.
Yeah, I
we
mean, like,
just we just have
it's just that I know that the lease is gonna end at the end of
yeah,
the year.
and we just have features we'd like to find.
Pet
No.
friendly.
Pet friendly, still properly within the area if possible. Um, more area, more room area.
A bigger unit
Yeah, would be
that's not
great.
significantly more expensive. Because
Although I don't know, would you be happy with a bigger unit if it were a studio type?
how is it bigger if it's studio?
Let's say floor area is much bigger, but then there are no separate rooms, so there's just like we'll have to like create false walls for
That's
the bedroom.
weird. I
Yeah,
mean, like, I could create walls of board games.
or with our shelves.
I think our shelves can create enough privacy.
We can become mazed with our shelves. But there are some units like that, right? Where it's just one large area and the only other door is the bathroom.
I don't think they make big studios like that big. I think then it's gonna definitely be a one bedroom at
Oh.
least. So, um, what else? I'm gonna set my reading goal again.
You're already behind because it's already one day and you haven't read one book.
I finished the book. I
I
finished the
spoke
book
too
this
soon.
morning while you were asleep.
I spoke too soon.
So yes, last year my goal of 365 books, I read 388 titles. So let's see how this year goes. But I'll keep it at 365. I think I don't want to push beyond that. That seems kind of crazy. A book a day is not bad.
Mhm.
Last year should have been 366 because it was a leap year. It's okay. It still makes up. Urim is going to consider moving out. Also, Noel also agrees get one that allows pets. Yeah, especially after like this New Year thing with Tyler. Oh my God, I miss having a dog.
Mm,
I super miss having a dog, even though Tyler is very noisy.
yeah.
He kept
That's true.
barking at me.
And then what else? Be nice to really try to get back into more physical stuff. Maybe try to squeeze in workouts. Your routine's there, so I have to start working on my routine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I realized when we went to your mom, in both walks, I was struggling a bit.
Oh,
And that's how out of shape I am now.
that's not
Considering
good.
I used to walk to work and that was not a problem.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's not a long walk.
yeah.
That's not a very long walk.
So I was like,
And we took our time.
I'm definitely more out of shape than I wish. What else?
Would you like to explore the building gym? You just have to sign up ahead of time.
It's tempting, but again, it's always that. Yeah. We'll see. What else?
Not hot neighbors. No.
No motivation.
No motivation.
I was thinking of trying to get back into art. maybe try to
Well,
work on a comic
you
again.
you got your new stylus and your little
Yeah.
glove thing. I mean, it's not the best, but it's something.
Accuracy is still questionable, and that's understandable because I did choose to buy a cheaper stylus, and it's still an iPad Air 2, which
Mm-mm.
is old by tech standards.
Yes, your mom has a better iPad than you.
Yes, and that's part of what I'm thinking. Is it time to consider a new gadget? Because a new iPad might be faster to find than a better laptop.
You still have the laptop money floating
I
around.
still have the laptop money. I still am using my older laptop.
But do you really foresee yourself doing art more on an iPad versus a desktop?
Well, I just want to be able to draw, and
The iPad feels more
the
natural.
iPad.
It worked for Carlo.
Yeah,
Carl.
the people have been using Procreate, and it really seems to be effective.
Yeah,
And
even
it'd be
like
nice.
even like Ira, right?
Yeah.
Twitter friend Ira. He's like he does a lot of iPad stuff.
So it'd be nice to start working in that direction, but I don't know. It's a thought. I haven't really considered it much yet.
Well, I think another goal is like keeping up Baduy Pride. I mean, I don't know if it's going to, I don't know if it's going to become anything much bigger than this. I still like this very casual, no editing format.
Mhm.
But I mean, to be fair, a lot of Christmas gifts that we received from friends this year also included mentions of
Thanks
being
for-
super appreciative of the show. So that's great motivation for us to keep going, and I'm glad
Yeah.
that it's helped.
I don't see us stopping the show. Definitely. I mean, even when the
The
pandemic,
pandemic
ends,
ends.
we still will be doing the
quote
show.
unquote pandemic ends.
But
Noel's super like, yeah, get it, upgrade your iPad and get Procreate.
I am wondering though if our show will start adjusting somewhat in format. Like maybe specific days will have not necessarily specific content, but maybe something like, let's say, MWF will tend to be game related or something like that. Because we are sort of doing that in an informal way.
Yeah.
Fridays tend to be personal stuff. Mondays tend to be game stuff. So maybe if we were to able to schedule things better, people kind of know what to expect.
It's just a challenge on the topic department. Then we have to keep thinking of stuff to feed the specific buckets. I mean, that it's like my Geeky Guide problem before, where I designated days of the week for certain types of content, and then I got very tired trying to meet. Like I had to consume content to post stuff because
Yeah.
I mostly did a lot of reviews. So like my Tuesdays were books, so I always had to have a Tuesday book review. So I really need to finish something, and then I think Mondays were movies, and then
And I think
things
that's,
like that.
And I think that's the main friction point when it comes to considering.
There's still
stuff
be
like that.
again with this friction point.
No, it's just I don't want this to become work.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want Baduy Pride to feel like it's work because then it stops becoming intimate and fun.
Then it becomes friction.
Friction's nice.
Then why do we have lube? Lube is there to counter friction.
Well, not too much. Anyway, we also have two sharks now.
Yeah. Of course, Noel's like get more guests, and yeah, I know, and part of that effort is like really just scheduling time with people.
Yeah. So I guess in terms of guests, I definitely want to get Carla Vergara as a guest someday.
That's a big plan.
I don't
for the
know
year.
when, but I want that to happen.
I feel like Carlos is waiting for us.
I want Noel to be a guest to talk about photography.
Oh, that would be nice, Noel.
I want Noel to share the journey in photography, how he got started, the funny stories and stuff like that. I want Karen to talk about, she keeps inviting us to that thing, but we never get to attend.
What thing?
Back before COVID.
Be specific.
Where she had these events and we never could attend.
Oh, like the burlesque stuff?
Yes.
Oh.
So I'd like to, it'd be nice to talk about that because, it's an uncharted territory for us. So it seems like something that would be interesting to learn more about. And stuff like that. I want to connect with people in the show.
And get people to talk about their specific stuff.
Or things that they're really into.
Yeah, like RJ also being vegan and how that's been going. And
or like if there was someone who was super into Sentai, then maybe they can tell us about that and why it's interesting to them. If there's someone who's
So more expert opinions.
yeah, that sort of thing. And it's all about being proud about something you're really into and sharing it with us. And I'd like that to happen.
Okay, I think that's a nice idea for the year. And like
Yeah, it's okay, Karen. I mean, the burlesque thing was, of course, just an example. What I mean is basically, if there's stuff that you'd be interested in sharing, we'd love to explore it and talk about it.
white shark, whitey.
And then, yeah, have more creative people who we don't necessarily know personally on the show would be interesting as well.
I mean, like there is that we keep feeling that sort of obligation to some degree to try to like have other drag queens
Mhm,
on the show, not just Obar queens, but then just other queens out there.
mhm.
We don't know them, but we don't know them too well. But it's definitely something to explore. Yeah.
And I guess the main challenge is we try to keep things very friendly, very easygoing, and even in the interviews. So the moment the people are more strangers,
It's a bit more work.
it's a bit more challenging because you don't really know how personal you can get.
Yeah, double check. Yeah, double check.
So yeah, what else? Sorry, I was like Whitey.
Whitey shark.
Oh, Noel. First read it as Whitney. That's why I got
Because
confused.
it's not Patricia.
But yeah, the shark is a Baduy Pride gift.
Yeah, thanks to David and Ed for giving us Baduy Pride themed gifts. They gave us a second shark, and they gave us a battery charger for Tube Guy,
Mm-hmm.
so that we
So
don't have
Tube
to
Guy
buy
never
batteries.
runs out of batteries. But sadly, because of our counter problem, we haven't really been able to use Tube Guy. Carlo, there, Carlos
Hi,
on the feed.
Carlo.
I'd love to have Carlos as a guest to talk about either his 3D printing,
His making.
yeah, his making stuff, or his mobile games.
Yeah.
As he does code games. Yeah, so it'd be great to expand the show and have more people present. But there's always that fear of inviting people to talk about something, but you might end up triggering them or saying something you didn't want to bring up. I mean, because of the pandemic.
That's fair.
Like there might be people who are into writing poetry, but maybe there was a falling out in the poetry circle they were friends with, so you don't want to necessarily bring it up again. And stuff like that. There's always that fear of, because we're not that in touch with everyone.
Well, I guess then it's more a question of trying to figure out who might be willing to guest on the show ahead of time,
And what they do.
and if
willing
what
to
they
talk
are comfortable talking about, and then we'll yeah. So that's the start. Anything else for the new year? But wow, it's so quiet. It's okay. On a side note, it's so weird that so New Year was on a Thursday night, and then now this Friday night is Jan 1. This is sort of like normally what would be like the perfect weekend
Oh yeah.
to go to Obar many nights in a row
Yeah.
and suffer for it.
Yeah,
Right?
and this would have been like such a year ender had it not been a pandemic handled the way things have been handled.
Yeah. I mean, like then, like right, we would have had after fireworks, Obar last night,
Mm-hmm.
and then we probably go back tonight just for the heck of it
Mm-hmm.
because we figure it's friendly Friday night,
Mm-hmm.
and then Saturday, it's going to be fun because then it's going to be like a recap. I mean, they're going to recap fun
And it
performances.
would have been
We wouldn't push Sunday because there's still work.
it would have been a 15th year
Yeah.
long party extravaganza of some sort.
Trying not to get too sad about it, but it would have. I keep thinking about what do we have scheduled for the weekend, and like normally it's like normally this would be a multiple Obar night.
And we'd probably even have
Weekend.
game nights
Yeah, we'd still have game nights, and then
in addition to going
crawl
to Obar
over
after.
to Obar after somehow.
Mm-mm.
So
So stuff to look forward to in this new year. Feb has a long weekend coming up. Not that it's really
It's Chinese New Year. That's a big weekend for me in Singapore.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have the EDSA thing, which supposedly is from the 25th till the 28th because of the positioning.
Oh, because it's on a Friday.
Yeah. So there's that.
26 is a sandwich. What is that?
I'm not sure why 25 was included.
No, isn't 25 the people
Yeah.
power
So maybe
anniversary?
26 will be like take a leave on that day, so it becomes a long weekend, something like that.
Oh, can you go down? Blue says opportunity to file leave.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
April, of course, is Holy Week, so that's April 1 to 4.
I don't get Holy Week.
Araw ng Kagitingan is 9 to 11. I mean, in terms of what
The spans.
Heroes Day in August will become a 28 to 30.
I don't get that holiday.
All Souls Day and All Saints Day with November becomes a 30 to November 2.
I don't
so
get
that's
that holiday.
4 days. Bonifacio Day falls on the 30th. So if you take a leave on the 29th, then you have the 27th to the 30th.
I
as
also
a
don't get that holiday.
long break. And again, this year, Christmas is in the middle. So that's 24 to 26. And then New Year and Rizal Day is 30 until January 2. So we have stuff to look forward to and pretend it was not pandemic because we have long weekends.
Pandemic.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Noel shares. Marathon ng Sabrina, okay? And then got super emotional when I went, oh, I could imagine because you did have your photo shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Rocky, it was looking through old stuff, the videos.
Mm.
For me, it was being back home. So there was a emotional level to, first Christmas and first New Year without dad. But gotta keep your chin up. Gotta keep moving. So yeah, it's 2021. We have small plans in mind. We have some, I don't think they're resolutions. I think they're just,
Hopes,
yeah.
aspirations. Because like even things like normally you'd say things like let's travel more. Like I've been wanting to travel more in Toby. Like because our international travel stopped after Yoshi died.
Mhm.
And then beyond that it's mostly been work trips. So it would be nice to travel again. But then we haven't and last year was supposed to be the travel year.
Yeah.
That was the years like after we went to Palawan as part of my company team building, then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we really should get out. And then so that hasn't happened yet. And I don't see us doing staycations with all the swab test requirements
Yeah.
just yet. Doesn't feel worth it, but I don't know. I feel like Anak will just keep trying to convince us to go out of town.
Yeah, it's really hard because it's hard to come up with resolutions.
Because the year is so uncertain.
And there's a lot of things that you might want to have as a resolution, but you find yourself struggling to see if it's really something that will be doable.
Yeah.
I mean, like you might even say something as simple as, "Okay, visit my parents more."
How?
Then again, that feels like it's being irresponsible again because it's still a pandemic. So,
You're still are you exposing your parents more?
so it's that frustration. So you kind of want to just aim low or aim for things you can accomplish while you're in the house or in your
Like
general vicinity.
Baduy Pride. Hooray!
So yeah, you're like super sharking up.
Oh, I hit my step count by shark.
So there. I guess to wrap up, it's a new year. We've survived the terror of 2020, but we know magically things have not changed. It's still the same crap out there. But at least we go into it with the aspiration and hope that things will get better.
Oh wow, Karen, we need to renew our passports too.
Yes,
but
we
then I
need to
don't
do
know
that
what
as
the
well.
point is.
But
But it's a good idea.
there is that feeling of renewal is better to do than having to. I mean, if it's expired too long, right? It becomes
It
a
might
new
lapse.
process.
Yeah.
So it's worse. But yeah, I guess we'll just jump into this new year with the determination to keep doing stuff. Baduy Pride will continue.
We'll stay Baduy.
We'll still try to hold episodes every night when we are we're able to and in the mood to do so.
But also we'll continue to try to balance like having even just online social activities. I
Mhm.
think they're not much, but then they really help kind of keep things keep things from just getting too crazy. And it's just it's an interesting way to keep in touch with everyone. And we're just coming up with more and more activities to do while on these calls.
I think one thing though that we can state is we're not planning to create new hobbies. Because that's what some people do as a resolution. I'll start growing plants, or I'll learn to cross stitch, or stuff like that.
I can cross stitch.
You have people who jump into new hobbies as part of their resolution.
I just haven't done cross stitch in years.
Same can be said about tap.
I did that.
You can tap.
I can tap.
You just haven't tapped in years.
I did like a plane and a waterfall. But I did mostly the water. I got tired after the water. I did some flowers.
And then there's that desire to find ways to safely, meet up with friends in controlled environments. Stuff like, so if we have any friends who will take a trip, got tested, then we feel better that that person might be able to visit us.
We have taken advantage of friends who get tested for staycations, and then we're like, oh, you want to hang out right after? Because I think you're still okay.
And, it's not necessarily foolproof, but it sort of makes you feel a bit more responsible about things.
That person has had more tests than we have.
And in our case, we barely go out, so we're pretty much sure.
Yeah, we have to figure out grocerying on this weekend. I'm already stressed thinking about it.
And the last part is, when that friend gets tested again, is it still clear? Okay, we're clear.
Oh yeah. Then it's like things haven't changed. We're using friends to get indirect COVID testing.
I think Karen, I'll agree with you. I think our main resolution is to survive this new year.
That's a fair one. I mean, admittedly, it's in the neighborhood of setting the bar very low, but hey, survival is important.
Yeah, and I think it's something we should, I'd like to believe we can reach out to each other, everyone who watches the show, to make sure that we all make sure we fulfill that.
Yeah,
resolution.
We're all new Baduy Pride friends. And then now you can have a double shark. I'm not even drunk, guys. I think I'm dehydrated, though.
So yeah, I guess that's it. That's our New Year episode. Do you have anything else?
No. Oh, I will tell you. So, last story is that Kylie Minogue did a repeat broadcast of the Infinite Disco yesterday as a New Year's Eve thing. But the stream that we watched for Asia and Australia was super buggy, and as initial compensation, they immediately streamed the performance again at like 7:20 that night, because it was at 6, and then it was super buffery, borky, and then it still ended at 7, and then at 7:20 they broadcast it again, and then they continued to be apologetic because even that stream was still buffery. So now it's available for 48 hours. So now we have 48-hour access to the Infinite Disco. I'm not sure what to do with this amazing power. Just letting you all know. But for those of you who booked the Infinite Disco as well, you get to watch it for up to 48 hours.
All right. So I guess that's it. So that's our episode. We had a lot of fun, and we hope you'll join us again next time.
If you have questions or suggestions for future episodes, or if you have stuff that you want to volunteer to guest and talk about on the show, then fill up the Google form at bit.ly Baduy Pride Ideas. You can follow us on Twitter, all Toby No Shade, RG Sunico.
You could also
almost spilled water.
You can also check out our blog, baduypride.com, for all the previous episodes and stuff about us.
Feel free to continue the conversation in the comments below and let us know what you're hoping for in this new year. What are you going to try to aim for as resolutions, or just stuff you think you're going to do? And then feel free to, be sure to subscribe for notifications, whether on Facebook or YouTube, so you don't miss our next live stream. Once again, I'm Rocky.
And I'm Toby.
And this is Baduy Pride. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.